having trouble, like many golfers, hitting the driver long and straight? Are you having trouble keeping your driver in play, period? Or would you like a little bit more distance with your driver? Well, this is the show for you. My name is Jason Sutton with the Dana Rader Golf School, and this is Guru TV. On one of my past shows, one of my most popular videos was how to drive a golf ball long and straight. It's got over 30,000 views. So if you found this video, you're obviously having trouble in this area. So let's see if we can hit a few more fairways and see if we can get you a little bit more distance. One of the probably most common questions that I get asked is there a difference between an iron swing and a driver swing? And there's two answers to this. One is, yes, you're going to try to do the same things in your mind and in the feel of how you're swinging the club, but in actuality, they're much, much different, simply because they're built different. So the first thing that I recommend is that you get fit for your driver. Now, I'm a Callaway guy, as you guys know, and I've got a Callaway Razorhawk driver that, no lie, is giving me 20 more yards just because it's fit properly to my golf swing. So that's your first tip. Now, secondly is let's look at the difference between a driver and an iron. And I'm going to hop into my little station here. So I've got two lines here. I've got a very flat plane line and I've got a little more upright plane line. This red stick represents a 7-iron. So you can see that it is much more upright than this purple stick that is my driver. So the driver is going to be a much flatter plane than your iron. So when we're looking at swings and looking at top player swing, then we really want to feel like we're swinging the club the way it's built. Now, another difference is with an iron, the ball's on the ground, right? So the club is going to be swinging a lot more up and down, even though we are attacking the ball on the inside and downward. We're trying to get the ball in the air when the ball's on the ground, so that's different. With a driver, we've got the ball up on a tee, and we're going to have the ball really be swept off the tee in a slightly upward manner. So we know that good drivers of the golf ball hit about 5 degrees on the upswing. Iron players hit the ball about 5 degrees on the downswing. So there's a big difference there. Now, we went through the setup keys in my first video in part 1 with the review of forward ball position, wider stance, tilting the spine away from the target. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about the shape of the swing and maybe some of the things that you're struggling with that's causing you to hit the ball crooked. If you're hitting the ball too much to the right or slicing it, chances are you are coming into the golf ball too upright or coming down and across the golf ball, which is going to cause the ball to curve and slice to the right. That's probably the most common thing that I see is players can't adjust to the flatter plane. Now, in the previous video, we talked about the club swinging a little bit more around your body like a baseball swing, and I think that's an excellent, excellent image. Another image for you, as I use my little hula hoop here, would imagine that we have the roof of a house or maybe even a tabletop that is a little flatter than the plane, because if you're too upright, right, and you've got this feeling of coming too much down and over the top, then we want to exaggerate that a little bit more under the plane line. So in order for us to hit down and up to the right, we have to get the club a little shallower. So imagine when you're starting your downswing that you're putting this club on a tabletop here. So we're putting it on a much flatter plane. It's going to allow us to swing more level into the golf ball and hit it more solid. Now, one of the biggest things that I see people do when they grab the driver is they try to overswing. So they try to swing harder than they do with an iron that you're just trying to hit 150 yards. So what I try to give my players is the thought of swinging 80%. Right? One of the number one things that causes us to hit the ball farther is simply hitting the ball in the center of the face. Now, the average tour player is going to tell you that they have what's called a playing speed. And that's going to be somewhere between 80 to 85% of their full capacity. If they swing 100 to 105%, they're going to run the risk of hitting it crooked. So a nice 80% swing that is on plane and hits the ball in the center of the face is always going to go farther than swinging 100%, coming over the top and hitting it on the toe. Alright, so let's review. After we get our setup, we want to make sure that we've got our nice on-plane takeaway and that we're allowing the club to drop a little bit more than we do with the iron. And this is what scares people a lot of times, is the feeling of this club head and this club flattening out in the downswing, but it's a huge component to driving the ball long and straight. If you're trying to get that club head back to the ball too soon, you're going to come over the top. So we want to make sure that that club head drops behind us, okay? Behind us, where the club feels like it drops behind our back. Shoulders are still nice and closed, so we can attack that ball from the inside and feel like we're swinging more to right field. Alright, so that's a huge deal as far as driving it straight. If you are trying to swing too hard, typically we're going to over-rotate the shoulders too soon. The club's going to come in too upright, and you're going to take a big divot with your driver and get what we call an idiot mark on the top of your driver, and that's no fun, especially if you got a new driver. So we get the Razor Hawk out, we get our setup. Here's how we do it. Right down the middle with a little draw. I hope this helps you understand the difference between the driver swing and the iron swing. Exaggerate that club dropping a little bit more to the inside, and I can promise you, you're going to hit longer and straighter drives. Thanks for checking out the blog. Shane, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time on Guru TV.